Hi everyone, welcome to Splatoon 7 Splatfest, Pirates versus Ninjas. I'm unquestionably going to be joining Pirates, I haven't even joined a team yet, because Ninjas are overly popular, perhaps even more than when it was Cars versus Planes. Anyway, Walleye Warehouse, Camp Triggerfish, and Moray Towers, which means I'm probably going to be using my E-Leader quite more often than I did compared to the last Splatfest, which was not charger friendly at all. Anyway, yeah, look at this. It's all purple. Ridiculous. No, there's absolutely no way I'm not joining Pirates because of this. Because I do not want to be facing against my own team. Yep, join. And now I have to automatically equip my Splatfest tee. And start right now. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing else I have to talk about. Actually, I am starting this recording session a lot later than I usually do. Normally, I start my Splatfest recording sessions at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning. I'm starting this one at 11:42 because I didn't spend enough time actually making the Spooky October 2015 Five Nights at Freddy's video. You guys can check that out if you want, but right now, I've got to do recordings for this Splatfest. I'm probably gonna, from what I've heard, Ninjas aren't very good, but we'll see. Hopefully there's gonna be enough good matches for me to show you guys. About 4 or 6. Alright, everyone, for the first match, it's in Camp Triggerfish with my normal E-Leader. I eventually used a custom one later on. I said in the last compilation I would always use good weapon variety in every Splatfest from now on. That's not the case. In this case, it was a charger-friendly rotation of maps, which is why I stuck with my E-Leader. And that Dynamo player I splatted right at the beginning there, it's very easy to splat Dynamos in general, because they jump in the air for like a good second or so, which gives you plenty of time to splat them. Actually, it's because splatting someone while they're in the air is very easy because they don't have much control over their movement while in the air. Anyway, I spend the beginning of this match just guarding the right part over there that we can't reach easily. In most of my Camp Triggerfish matches, though, there was a lot of my allies that would bum rush that side that I'm trying to shoot at right now, just to prevent the opponents from getting a good grip on it. But in this match, I was just protecting it really, really well. I think I got rid of everyone that was trying to get in at this point already. The E-Leader is really surprisingly effective in Camp Triggerfish just because of how it has a good reach on every area. I think the normal one is better because you can throw bombs right where I am right now. You can throw bombs over to the other side to catch opponents that are trying to hide from you. I missed my chances right there, but I imagine if I had bomb throwing ability upgrades, it wouldn't have been nearly as hard. Here, there's a pesky player trying to escape me, and unfortunately he managed to do it. This forces me to go on Gimp to defense right there. It's possible to hit someone while they're up there, but it's not easy at all. And I missed my chance at splatting the Octo or the normal brush right there, which puts us on defensive for the beginning of this match. Splatting the ink brush wasn't too difficult, fortunately, but then the carbon roller got to me. Fortunately, my ally went up to the player to get revenge on me. And now we're actually losing right now because my allies weren't doing a good job of assaulting the enemy base for some reason. I wasn't positive what was going on, but you guys saw the beginning of the match. I was doing just fine. Anyway, yeah, I hit the Dynamo player, but because of the E-Leader nerf, I didn't splat him in a single hit. Because now, unless you have a ton of damage up upgrades, clothing or something like that, you can't splat someone without a full charge with the E-Leader. And if they have defense up equipment, it's like if they have 2 main defense up equipment, then it becomes outright impossible to splat someone in a single uncharged E-Leader shot. Anyway, yeah, that was that match. Just showing that I'm still very good at defending with E-Leader, despite the nerf. Now for the second match, on Moray Towers with the E-Leader against 2 other E-Leaders. Yeah, E-Leader, on more towers, it's still very much a E-Leader friendly map. And one of the things I don't think I've mentioned that I do very often now is that I ink over the sides using the E-Leader. Even though many players don't think using the E-Leader to ink over terrain is a good idea, I do it because I want my super almost ready when I get to the center. Anyway, but the consequence of that is that the enemy E-Leaders got into position faster than I did, and because of that I'm a bit too frisky at getting to the center to counter them. But then I realized that they aren't very good, which is why I decided to get rid of them right there. Yep, because they're just standing in place. That's a very easy mistake when you're playing with a charger. You do not stand in place when you use one, because it makes you too easy to hit by an enemy splat charger or E-Leader or even Squiffer. I should probably start studying up on how the Squiffer really works, to be honest. It doesn't seem like a weapon that you would use like a normal charger, particularly even like the Bamboozler, which is kind of the same thing. Anyway, in a few seconds ago, I basically sacrificed myself with my bombs to get rid of the custom E-Leader scope. And right here, a few seconds ago, I took out that player that was just standing in place thinking he was hidden. But here, I cannot reach the opponent's splatter E-Leader because he has the scope variant, which means he has more range than I do. Fortunately, my allies managed to get rid of him, so I go back here, and I start doing this new shortcut that I've thought of that can be useful if you have a weapon like a roller or burst bombs. Unfortunately, you need a charger to actually make the shortcut in the first place, so it's a teamwork effect that you have to do. Anyway, here I'm waiting for someone to come over so I can splat them quickly with my burst bombs, but it doesn't happen. So I take out the scope to E-Leader enemy right there, which was kind of risky. I'm surprised he didn't hit me. And here I escaped from an enemy that tried to ambush me and go back into my hiding spot on the right side over here. It's not completely 100% safe, by the way, because that E-Leader I took out a while ago, he could have hit me from there. And here I failed utterly at getting back up there. I should have used one of my bombs, but I didn't take out enough ink for that, unfortunately. Now we're losing now because once again my teammates weren't pressuring the foes quite enough as I expected. Actually, right around here though, I think one of my allies was on the enemy side and inking over their base, so the match I wasn't that concerned we were about to lose, fortunately. More Towers is a map I feel is quite balanced in terms of comebacks and keeping pressure on your opponents. There were quite a lot of matches where me and my team just pressured the team into having no turf left at all. But again, I'm very good at more towers, particularly when I have my E-Leader. Now, more towers again, but with the Octobrush. I don't know if the Octobrush is truly a good weapon for more towers. I think against good opponents it's not that effective, but I really like using it on that map. Anyway, the bucket decides to ink over the same place I was covering. But in case any of you have noticed, when I saw that bucket player inking over the same spots I did, I angled my brush to hit the lower level at the same time. That's something that I'll probably mention in advanced tips with the Octo brush about how to use it. I think when I'll do advanced tips after I'm done with the quick tips of all the basic weapons, which will take a long time, I think what I'll do is I'll mention like specific ways you can use opponents to their full advantage. Anyway, one of the reasons why I like to use the Octo brush is because you can you can paint while climbing the railways or whatever they're called. There's lots of English word I can't seem to remember when I'm making this live commentary thing. Anyway, if you're expecting me to kick ass all the time in this match, I think I'm gonna have to disappoint you. I think I did get splatted like 5 times. And again, the Carbon Roller takes me out because the attacks. I think the Carbon Roller is pretty much outright completely defeat Octobrushes all the time. Again, when it's used by players with equal amounts of talent. I ambushed that player, but then I get ambushed by someone who used their bubbler. I really don't like when that happens. The Tri-Slosher, that's a weapon I see quite often right now. Is there any particular reason why? I don't really clay buckets all that much, but I've seen a lot of players using the Tri-Slosher. I took out the E leader here, but unfortunately I got stuck in enemy ink for too long, and because of that, I completely got splatted yet again by the Tri-Slosher Anon. I think that was the last time I got splatted though. Now it's time for my comeback, and the entire reason why I decided to upload this. Do not go over here if there's a player behind you. You're pretty much trapped unless you already have the ink to escape with already set in place. This was kind of a pointless squid jump, but I did it anyway because I do have a quick super jump abilities with me. I get revenge on the carbon roller right here, but there's a knee leader above me. I managed to get revenge on the Anon Tri-Slosher here, and then the Dual Squelcher. Then I climb up here to splat all 4 opponents all at once. Thanks to crafty movement. Well, that and the Kraken. Yep, so me getting the splat on all 4 opponents right there guaranteed our win. Quite heftily, too. 10 splats. Now, Walleye Warehouse with the Octobrush. Walleye Warehouse, I'd say that's probably the most balanced maps out of all of them. It's good no matter what weapon you have. Presumably, that's the reason why it was always chosen in the global testifier events. I don't know why Salt Spray Rig was chosen. I don't think it's as balanced. Oh, actually, Walleye Warehouse is balanced on Turf War. On ranked modes, I would say that perhaps Dynamos have an advantage, but yeah, on Turf War, I'd say Walleye Warehouse is one of the most balanced maps. Anyway, my strategy here is to... My strategy with the Octobrush in this map is to pester the opponent's side, and be careful not to get ambushed yourself. I was quite aware of my surroundings right there, because that player almost sandwiched me against the player that was in front of me. I keep my Kraken activated here, but I thought I got ambushed right there. Anyway, that player was he was not quite aware that the bubbler does not last as long as the Kraken, but I didn't have the chance to splat him, unfortunately. But fortunately, he didn't splat me in the process, which allowed me to ambush Bolita136 right there, and Ma. That's such a weird name. There's so many people with such weird nicknames in Splatoon. I believe you can have multiple profiles in this game, which is probably the reason why some players decide to have these funky nicknames, you know, for role-playing purposes. Anyway, I pretty much sacrificed myself right there to splat Bolita136 again. I think sacrificing yourself against a player who almost has his super ready is not that bad of an idea, maybe? Particularly if that player is being very pesky. Anyway, my super will probably be ready by the time I get to the enemy base, which is why I'm starting an assault right here. And I'm waiting in case a player is coming over too. And yes, super is ready. But unfortunately, my opponents were all pestering my allies right there. So this was not that good of a tactical decision of mine to just stick around here. I was waiting for like all the enemies to respawn so I could splat them, but it never really happened. The only player who kept respawning was that bucket player right there. Ma. Such a weird name. So I spent a good amount of time just inking over all the area over here. I wanted to stay on the opponent's side, but I accidentally dropped myself to the bottom. And then I finished the match with one last Kraken on the last 10 seconds. When you have a super that like is on a duration base and it's the last 10 seconds, you probably really want to activate it right there. There's almost no reason not to. Like I imagine there's a reason not to activate your Inkzuka or perhaps the Echolocator. But when it comes to stuff like Kraken or, well, no, actually even the Kraken, it forces you to go on melee. So just if you know how your Kraken, how your special works, you probably want to use it on the last 10 seconds, because that's the last 10 seconds you'll have a chance to use it. Yeah, anyway, Octobrush on Moray Towers again, but this time I'm a lot better. Also this time, there's only a charger on the enemy side, so I uploaded this match largely because I wanted to show how you handle opponents that have the range advantage over you. on this map. I noticed that guy trying to ambush me right there. Fortunately, I did not get lucky with the suction bomb of all things right here. Also, my camera was kind of not aligned properly right here. Put back the squid beacon. Or I did not. Huh, I'm surprised I didn't put back a squid beacon. I usually always do, especially in the beginning of the match, but I guess I didn't this time. And I did something excessively stupid right there. I'm not positive why. I guess I just had pebbles in my brain right there. Anyway, we're 4 towers and we're at a severe disadvantage, and only they have a charger. But that's okay. If you play well, you can still make a comeback. Ambushing the enemies from behind right here, which is a very good idea at all times. Make sure no players sneaking by over here, because that would be very terrible. This was a bad spot for me to go to because that bucket player just came over. This leaves us at a disadvantage, unfortunately. Well, actually, we were starting to get the advantage, but it felt like I was being we were still at a disadvantage. The game could still go either way, is what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, most players don't see this happening, but you can climb over here using just a brush. I suspect one of the reasons why not many players came over here to take care of me is because they didn't expect me to be up there. But there was the charger, and fortunately I managed to take care of the charger by counting, quote unquote, how much ink they had left. That's one thing, one tip I should probably talk about. Counting your enemy's remaining ink in order to know when you'll have to assault them is particularly useful for melee weapons, I'd say. Anyway, took care of the roller right here. I wanted to take care of one more player, but unfortunately I was in no position to do that, so I ran away. And surviving, that's something that's worth of booyahing, I'd say. Especially because it left the enemy forces crippled. Some of you see right here, there's no way they can make a comeback right now. All thanks to my massive distraction strategy. Yep. Easy win. Then again, Team Ninja, they were full of very bad players. But I wouldn't say these players were particularly bad. Anyway, last match, custom E-leader on Camp Triggerfish. Good stage variety, I'd say, for the matches I was able to show in this time. Anyway, one thing you'll see me very often do with the E-leader on this map is to assault the enemy just coming up to the center. I missed my chance right at the beginning here, but with good sniping, I managed to catch all of the players eventually. Managed to catch Christian right there, and managed to catch Effie right there. There's still one more player left though. Yeah, I really wanted to catch that player because I believe he had the Kraken ready. You'll see that very often. Players walking on those walkways that you can squid form through. They'll often jump to try to avoid your shots, and it's quite effective too. I could have gone to the enemy side with my Kraken ready, but I chose not to because one enemy managed to sneak by over here. Well, almost. They didn't quite jump all the way over there just yet, but I managed to splat them before they could anyway. Unfortunately, I believe there's still another player over there. Perhaps. It's hard to tell because I don't have the mini-map view with me while watching this video. I don't know if anyone's realized this yet, but I don't really do live commentary anymore when playing on Splatfest. Like, I do live commentary for the intro, but after that I do post commentary for well, this compilation. Because live commentary, you never know when you're gonna have a good match. It's part of the problem. And oh wow, that was a good snipe right there. You guys saw that? You never know when you'll have a good match, and doing the commentary live means there's much more time I have to spend editing. And right here, I got overly brave trying to splat that roller right there. I probably would have splat him if the E-leader hadn't not gotten nerfed. I think, maybe. Because I did hit him a few times, but unfortunately not enough to completely splat him. Our home base is full of ink right now. I spent a good amount of time cleaning it, even though chargers are not very good at that. Jump over the seekers at all times and make sure that no one jumps on your head when you're over there. And I managed to splat TD the best once again. Very, very good. Very important too. This is the closest match I had in Splatfest. There were a few I lost too though. One of the first I lost was a 3 versus 4. Did that happen to you guys very often? When I started Splatfest, there was lots of disconnects. I only managed to record 3 unfortunately, but there were a lot of disconnects and that really bothered me. Because I had a feeling that my disconnects left my team with like only 3 players. Anyway, yeah, won that match. 44.1% versus 42.3%. Kind of close. I didn't score very much points, but I managed to splat 9 opponents. Anyway, that's it for this Splatfest, the good matches that I decided to upload for you guys. Hope you all enjoyed them and hope you all have a very nice day. I'm not sure if I'm going to add even more weapon variety next time. I did try to incorporate my Splatling into this Splatfest, but I kept losing with that weapon. In fact, when I wasn't using my E-Leader, I was doing much more terribly than when I was using it. Probably the reason why I went back to it. Anyway, Splatoon has no voice chat compilation will happen on Thursday probably, maybe Wednesday. Bye-bye!